What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love P-Valley, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today we're going to be talking about P-Valley Season 2, Episode 9. This is the recap. Now I'm going to try my best to focus on all the key points in this episode. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. And I know y'all ready for the season finale. After I watched this episode, I'm looking like, man, I'm trying to watch the season finale right now, and I'm hoping that this season finale is longer than the regular hour that they give us each week. But we gonna see. I do know sometimes in shows we do get a little bit extra time on the season finale. You guys let me know if y'all want to see, a little bit longer season finale. But this episode was crazy. To me, I felt like it was a build-up episode for the season finale. It was a lot of tension in the air, and I believe in next week's episode we're going to get that huge impact that this episode built up, in my opinion. And you guys let me know, man, what do you think about your girl Big Bone? Y'all saw what she was on. She's up there plotting and planning. Y'all saw that picture that she had with Montavious' ring in her hand, right? Diamond told this girl not to even touch it, but she decided to go ahead and touch it and take a picture, and she was about to send that picture to somebody. In the season finale, we should be able to see her full hand and see what she's up to, but it's quite obvious she's been watching everything. We talked about this in the fan theory. I just can't wait to see how it's all going to unfold. But we're going to go ahead and get into this recap. As I told you guys, I'm going to try my best to focus on all the key points. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. So what did we see in episode 9 titled Snow? Now it seems like with the help of Auto Knight, Andre has taken a new approach. He wants to endorse the strip club. He wants to endorse the strippers. He's trying to get those numbers up, and it seems like everything is working for him, and it's looking like he may be the next mayor of Chucalissa. But we know your girl Patrice, she ain't having that. She ain't gonna just let Andre get in there and win like that. And when she came in on that strip pole dancing, I'm looking like, man, I thought I seen it all. Patrice don't care. She's willing to do whatever it takes to win. She tells the people that they tried to bribe her on the money, and she ain't going for all that. She is here for them, and she's trying to win. So, of course, Andre is pissed off. They're trying to figure out a way where they can neutralize her, where she's not a problem anymore. But as of right now, it seems like she's going to continue to be a problem, and we can see where Mercedes gets these skills from, right? Now, we get to Grandma Ernestine. She's struggling in the hospital. She's watching all the stuff that's going down on the news, but she is having some issues, y'all. And they're trying to get her to drink some water, but Grandma ain't having it. She's like, look, a bitch ain't thirsty. She ain't going. And it seems like she does have a lot of energy and a lot of fight left in her, but with all the foreshadowing of death, it still doesn't look too good for Grandma Ernestine. You guys let me know down below. Do you think she's going to make it? I know what we saw at the end of the episode with Uncle Cliff getting that call, and most likely, it may be some bad news. And based off the episode 10 trailer, it seems like Uncle Cliff got real bad news and that she did not make it. But then again, y'all know how they do in these TV shows and these trailers. They make it seem like one thing, but then when you watch the show, it's the complete opposite. So like I said down below, do y'all think Grandma Ernestine is gone? All I'm going to say is this. It's definitely not looking too good for your girl. Meanwhile, Uncle Cliff is getting clapped up by a little murder. All of a sudden, the phone rings, and Uncle Cliff is thinking that it's some news from Grandma Ernestine, but it's not. It's, of course, somebody trying to sell something. Now, we know Uncle Cliff is going through it and is mentally preparing for Grandma Ernestine to pass away. Now, Cliff does ask Little Murder to rap at Grandma Ernestine's funeral if this was to happen. And Little Murder's like, look, Grandma, she's been through a lot, through flames, floods. She gonna get through it. The Rona ain't gonna take her out. Now, Uncle Cliff does ask Little Murder about how does it feel to be more than hood famous. We know Little Murder states that, blowing up, people believe they know more about you, but that's not really the case. And Uncle Cliff does get some good advice, telling Little Murder not to be everybody's cup of tea or whatever. We know this whole little love story is something that Uncle Cliff is not taking serious as far as it really being something that can actually last, especially with Little Murder's career and him moving on, being more famous. It's going to be difficult, right? Now, Uncle Cliff is still upset about the whole Grandma Ernestine thing. I did find it interesting when Uncle Cliff asked Little Murder, could he imagine not being there for somebody you love with all your heart? And Little Murder said, nah, he can't imagine, because we know Little Murder was there for Big Teak, and when Big T took his life, he was there up until it was all over. So of course he's like, nah, I can't imagine that. But this whole little storyline, as of right now, it ain't looking the best. Based on how Little Murder is moving in his career. But we know in the season finale, that trailer, it seems that Little Murder is thinking about, letting his truth out and possibly just, being there with Cliff. But we gonna find out and see if that's gonna be the case. Then we get to Autumn Night and Keyshawn. And Autumn is just making sure that Keyshawn has everything together as far as her game plan on leaving. We know that Keyshawn, she's asking Autumn, how did she know that Chuckalisa, was a good home for her to be at? Autumn was like, look, I'm not staying here. You know what I'm saying? Once I find out about this whole, election and this club is sold, I'm up out of here. So Autumn is still planning to leave. She's pretty much been telling us this since day one, that she's always ready. Her bags is always packed and she's ready to get up out of here. But we know Keyshawn does ask her, where is she going to go? Autumn was like, look, I ain't telling you. Deep down inside, Autumn probably doesn't even know where she's going to go. Now, Keyshawn was worried about Uncle Cliff and what's going to happen. Autumn tells her, look, worry about yourself. That's all you got to worry about. Don't worry about nobody else. I mean, this casino is going to bring all types of different benefits here, and it's going to be good. Now, we finally get to Keyshawn and Diamond. They're having a conversation, and Diamond sees that she still has that necklace that he gave her in season 1, and she's pretty much telling him, like, look, this thing does work. Even though Derek, the big bad wolf, has swallowed the key to the tower, her hair is long enough now. And this goes back to the story that Keyshawn was telling her child, about her hair not being long enough and her not being able to defeat the big bad wolf. But now it seems like she's ready, and hopefully she's able to defeat the big bad wolf this time. Now, while her and Diamond are having this conversation, Big Bone is watching the whole time. She's plotting and planning, spying, making sure nothing happens. And Big Bone comes out and says, look, even though she's thirsty, I'm hungry or whatever. Pretty much letting us know that, look, she's not going for it. She sees what time it is with Keyshawn being around, and she feels like Keyshawn is a threat. Then we get to Mercedes and your girl Roulette. They're having issues because Mercedes, she's still up there struggling. I told y'all, every time she's at that club, she struggles. That spirit of Montavious is in her head, so she's not going to be able to perform at that high level. And she was about to get into a fight with Roulette. They end up breaking it up. Autumn Night is pissed off. Of course, Mercedes is blaming Autumn Night for everything, and she pretty much just airs it all out. Like, look, I'm in this position because of you. Me pulling that trigger, 7 pounds of pressure. Autumn Night's like, look, that's not all my fault. That's on you too. You know what I'm saying? Some of this is your fault. So they just go back and forth. Mercedes is upset. She wants, a part of the cut that's coming to the door. We know Keyshawn, she's pretty much the star. She's pretty much the reason why everybody's coming, right? And Autumn Night had it in the game plan to make sure that Keyshawn gets a certain percentage from the door. And Keyshawn's like, look, we can just split it 4 ways. You know what I'm saying? She's trying to make sure that there's no issues with everybody, but Mercedes is pissed off. She's cussing everybody out, and she ends up leaving. She's having a conversation with Uncle Cliff, and she asks, like, look, is Keyshawn better than me? We know Keyshawn is at a different level. Mercedes, she should have retired 5 years ago, like she explained. And Uncle Cliff told her, like, look, sometimes you gotta dream new dreams. You gotta just move on. Mercedes is ready to move on. Hopefully things can go her way down the line. We know Farrah end up hitting her up, and she's talking about, can we meet up once again? Then we get to Big Bone. She's looking at the picture of her and Diamond. Some of you guys have said that y'all believe Big Bone is really falling for him, and she's thinking about what she really wants to do as far as if she really wants to take him out. That is the fan theory. Now, Big Bone runs into Keyshawn. They get into a small little argument. She explains to Keyshawn that she knows it's her last night and that these walls have been whispering. Some of you guys stated that y'all thought that it was a connection with Whisper. I don't know about that. I think that's what Big Bone was just saying. To me, I felt like she was just explaining that, look, she knows what's going down. I mean, if she had that ring and she's talking about these walls talk, I would not be surprised if she summoned the spirit of Montavious and she found out what is really going down up in that club. But y'all let me know. This whole ring thing and Big Bone, it's definitely, in my opinion, a connection to Montavious. And she's probably able to read energy and, read what's going on with different characters throughout the show. But your girl Keyshawn was looking like, how the hell she know that? She was looking like, man, this girl is definitely on something. She's probably feeling like somebody told her, the information about her leaving. Now, we get to Mercedes and she's gone and meet up with Farrah. At this exhibit, it's inspired by the Mercedes experience. And man, it's looking good. It's looking real good, man. These pictures are the pictures that Farrah took of her, and they're having a great conversation about Mercedes and the things that she was able to do as far as her dancing. And Farrah does mention that she's getting a divorce from the coach, and she wishes that she can take her weaknesses like Mercedes and use them for her advantage, right? Now, she does ask Mercedes, will she ever sleep with her again? Mercedes is like, no, that was all business, not pleasure, but maybe some of it was pleasure. Now, hopefully Mercedes and Farrah can continue to work together in the future. This could be an opportunity for her to make some money. We're going to see in episode 10 what's going to happen, but I think Mercedes got something up her sleeve, and with Farrah's help, I can see a lot of different things happening for her character. I just hope it can happen consistently, and I'm talking about something good happening for her, because we know Mercedes, she always has some type of bad luck coming her way. Now, we get to Autumn Night. She's throwing up. It ain't looking too good. And once she ran to that bathroom, to that toilet and started throwing up, I already knew what time it was. I'm looking like, man, she's pregnant. Now, it was some people mentioning that they believed Andre would get her pregnant this season, and you guys was right. She's definitely pregnant. All of a sudden, your girl Whisper walks past and is talking about, are you ready for some twins? What is it with Whisper? Whisper always popping up with somebody in that toilet stall. I just don't get it. This girl, she's straight up weird. But Autumn Night, I guess she does have to get ready for what's to come. And I want to know how Andre's going to feel about all of this. And this is what happens when you don't wear protection. Andre says, screw all that. I'm on my Eddie Murphy. I'm going straight raw. And he didn't pull out. So these are the consequences of his actions. Now the club is reopening once again. Everybody's hyped. They're outside getting ready. The thing is, they only can have 50% capacity. Your girl Lauren, she is back. The health inspector is back talking about you already reached your limit. And Uncle Cliff is like, look, please take us up to 75%. And we'll throw in Big L if you do that. I know you're trying to go in there and spend your money, trying to spend that stimmy. And once Big L was mentioned, he kind of got pissed off, like, really? Like, I ain't trying to do this. But Lauren's like, hell yeah. She was like, say less. She's trying to get up in there, and she's trying to get her a piece of Big L. So they end up letting 75% in the club. Then we get to your girl Toy. She is back. We know what happened with her character. She was the person that supposedly passed COVID-19 to Grandma Ernestine. Of course, she's denying it, talking about that was not me. I did not do this. Uncle Cliff is like, get out. You know what I'm saying? Get out. Toy is talking about, how do you know it was me? It could have been anybody. Uncle Cliff ain't trying to hear any of that. Ain't trying to hear any of that. Talking about, you don't want up here sneezing with the bubbly guts. All of a sudden, somebody else coughs. It's Jupiter. She's in there coughing, and man, oh man, this scene right here was funny. She was talking about her spit went down the wrong way. Uncle Cliff is like, you got one more cough. You know what I'm saying? Cough again, or you up out of here, right? Now, after all that happened, Uncle Cliff saw that Little Murder posted on his IG about him and Tina Snow coming to the club. The tour starts right now at Club Pink. So your girl Megan Thee Stallion, she has once again come into the P-Valley universe. We saw her earlier on in the season, and now we finally get to see her face. And while they're out there, we see Maine and Jericho. They're watching Little Murder's every move. You already know they feel some type of way about what happened to Pico in last week's episode, and they feel that Little Murder or anybody from the HVH probably has something to do with it. So they're just watching. Now, we get to Tina Snow, Little Murder, or Uncle Cliff. Tina's giving Uncle Cliff all the props, talking about, is this the pimp that I heard about? And everything seemed cool at first. And then we kind of, seen some jealousy up in the air, because Tina Snow's like, look, not only have I heard about the legend of Uncle Cliff, I've heard about the legend of Little Murder, aka Big Murder. So she's on it, you know what I'm saying? She's flirting. Uncle Cliff ain't having that. You can see Uncle Cliff looking kind of jealous, like, oh, hell no. I know she ain't flirting with Little Murder, right? Now, Uncle Cliff grabs the drink out of Tina Snow's hand and talking about, I hope you enjoy your night or whatever. Played it off. It was funny as hell how that all played out. Now, Uncle Cliff is requested to go to the Paradise Room. Little Murder's like, oh, hell nah. Like, you getting requested? Like, when have you been doing that? Now, of course, Tina Snow has to tell him, like, look, don't worry about that. You need to worry about going out here and getting ready for this performance. As I told you guys, we see jealousy on both parts, Little Murder and Uncle Cliff. But what do y'all think about Tina Snow, Little Murder, this whole tour thing? Do y'all believe it's going to go down? Or Will Little Murder say, you know what, I'm gonna just stay here and stick around and be with Uncle Cliff. Now we get to your girl Toy. She's pissed off, she's crying, she can't pay her bills. She's talking about how she's struggling, her light's about to get cut off. I'm looking like, what you do with your stimmy? Like, what's going on? Like, you ain't got nothing. Now, Whisper tells her that, look, Roulette gonna help you out. Roulette pretty much gives her some money, y'all. And when she did this, I'm looking like, oh yeah, this is not going to end well, because we know who Roulette is. This girl is pretty much like a pimp, and the look that she gave her was the look that a pimp would give one of his hoes. And this is exactly how Roulette was looking at your girl Toy. Toy, be careful, because now you're pretty much screwed, in my opinion, especially if you mess up and if you end up doing anything that's going to piss Roulette off. But that's just my opinion. You guys let me know what y'all think about this whole little storyline, this new storyline now with Toy, Whisper, and Roulette. Then we get to Freaky Deaky Corbin, and Corbin wants another season 1 experience in the Paradise Room, and he's willing to pay $250K. I'm looking like, yeah, this dude got a problem. He has a sicko, freaky deaky problem. And Uncle Cliff ain't about to say no to no $250K. Like, are you crazy? That's not about to happen. So, of course, Uncle Cliff gonna get this money. And Corbin pretty much said, thanks to you, it doesn't matter who wins, right? So, I think in the season finale, we're gonna see the full game plan of Cliff and Corbin. You guys let me know what y'all think about this, but this dude, man, was definitely on one. I mean, right after that, he gonna bring his bloody back, have himself up in there talking about let's get some drinks and all that, let's celebrate. This dude is flat out crazy. Now, Autumn Night, she throws her drink because we know she's pregnant. She's not about to drink now that she knows this, and she's preparing to tell Andre the truth. Then we get to Duffy and Roulette. And Duffy, he really likes Roulette, man. I think this man gonna get himself hurt messing around with this girl. His main goal was pleasing her, and that's exactly what he did. And she liked it. And he liked it for sure. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I still think something's gonna go down within this storyline. A lot of you guys have been saying y'all think she's gonna mess around and get this dude killed. I hope not. I hope your boy Duffy can survive. But as I stated earlier, if you're messing around with Roulette, I'm thinking something bad gonna happen. But that's just me. Then we get to Andre. He goes out there in front of everybody and gives his little speech, once again promoting his whole campaign, giving, a shout out to the girls at the Pink, trying to make sure everybody votes for him and everything is going good. Autumn Night is telling him, like, look, they need to just get on out of there and, go have a conversation. She wants to tell him something, right? So as I told you guys earlier, she wants to just tell him about her getting pregnant, in my opinion. But it's quite obvious that Andre wants her to lease out the club and continue to make money. He wants to keep her there at all costs. But we know Autumn Night, she has her own game plan. Now, we get to Tina Snow and Little Murder. They're out there performing their hit, having a good old time. And everything is going well. Miss Mississippi is out there putting on a great performance, dancing. And Mercedes, she's watching. And Maine is like, man, why you ain't out there? And, of course, she's like, look, sometimes you just want to sit back and enjoy somebody's art. And he does mention that she's out there dancing like it's her last dance, right? And you're probably right. This is probably going to be her last dance at Club Pink, at least as of right now. And Mercedes understands this. Now, Little Murder, he is out there performing his part of the song. Everybody's hyped, having a good old time. But we already know it's going to be some drama that's going to pop off. Usually, it's always some drama at this club. And guess what? It's some gang drama. Little Murder's gang and, of course, Maine's gang is going at it once again. Of course, Keyshawn, she ends up getting hit. She's down. And guess who saves her? Your boy Diamond. He saves the day for Keyshawn. And even though they had some issues in the past as far as Derek, we know he still has love for her deep down inside. And he's going to make sure she is good. And Keyshawn, she didn't waste no time. Once he did that, she said, you know what? I might as well shoot my shot. I might as well get me a kiss. She went in for a kiss, and Diamond was kissing her back for a little bit. The whole time, your girl, Big Bone, is back there just watching. I mean, I'm looking like, okay, she on one. I mean, she's watching his every move. Anything that he does, Big Bone is watching. She's always in a position to see everything, right? And you can tell she's pissed off, she's upset, she's jealous, all of it is really getting to her. And she understands that Diamond most likely has feelings or still has feelings for Keyshawn, and she's not going to let this go. We know this because at the end of the episode, we already know what she was on, showing us that she was about to send that picture of Montavious ring to somebody. Now, what do y'all think about this whole Keyshawn and Diamond thing? Is it over yet, or will we see more of this in the future? Now, Little Murder is pissed off. He's upset that they really did this while he was performing. He's talking about how he will take all of them out and he will drop another body just like that once again. And Uncle Cliff was like, so did you use me as her cover up when you came over that night? Like, what's going on? Little Murder said no, that was something else. He said on this night, he wet up they block. You know what I'm saying? It was something completely different when I came to you, which we know that was the whole big teak thing, right? And Uncle Cliff was like, well, you probably gonna need Diamond when you go on tour. You're gonna need somebody to help you with the hell that's about to come your way. Little Murder wasn't having it. He's like, look, I'll be my own security. I'm good. This ain't gonna end well, man. I hope your boy Little Murder just calms down and realizes that Uncle Cliff may be right. You know what I'm saying? That this is going to be a dangerous situation for you. Going back and forth with these guys is not going to end well, in my opinion. Uncle Cliff sees the bottle of pills that got tossed over that was in that box, and Cliff is pissed off. So you already know that conversation with Big L is coming, and it ain't going to be pretty. Then we get to Auto Knight and Andre. They went back to a spot. They was about to get it on, and all of a sudden, we see your girl Brittany sitting there looking crazy. And I'm looking like, okay, what in the hell is she doing? And she tells Andre, so this is your campaign manager. So y'all know the next episode, she's definitely going to go off. It's going to be a conversation. It's going to be a huge argument between her and Andre. Now, Uncle Cliff has that conversation with Big L, pretty much tells him like, look, I told you I don't do this type of work up at this club, and you pretty much just fired. They go back and forth. Big L's pissed off. Like, look, I did all these different things for you. Are you crazy? And you could tell that Uncle Cliff didn't really want to do it, but it is what it is. Now, Big L did mention that Auto Knight won't be able to sell if she's dead. And once he said that, that pretty much made Uncle Cliff, say that you're fired. I don't know what's going to happen. I hope Big L can come back because they do have great chemistry. But as of right now, they got some issues, but I think they can get over them. Now, Uncle Cliff does get a phone call from the hospital about Grandma Ernestine, and we didn't really get to hear anything, but we can tell by the facial expression of Uncle Cliff that something definitely happened. A lot of the people are saying that she's dead. We already saw the foreshadows, but I believe a lot of people was already mentally getting prepared for her to pass. But they're going to save that answer for next week's episode. I told you, based off that trailer, it definitely seems like something big happened with Grandma Ernestine just based off Uncle Cliff crying. It's not looking too good, y'all, but I cannot wait to see what really happened. Then we get to Mercedes and Little Murder, and it was good seeing them together because we haven't seen them in the same scene together since season 1. We know their history, and Little Murder, he gets all the respect in the world for her. He calls her the legend, and he used to have her listen to his music, and in this episode, that's exactly what happened once again. He wants to get her opinion on this new track that he's working on. I do know in the lyrics, I can hear 7 pounds of pressure, so I got a feeling it's going to be a banger, and I will not be surprised if it causes more issues for Little Murder down the line with him going back and forth with this whole gang stuff. And speaking of gang stuff, we can see Pico's baby's mom, she's pregnant, she's out there talking about how, he pretty much got sprayed with over 30 rounds. So Little Murder really lit that dude up, and she's talking about how she thinks it's him. So best believe they're going to come back and try to seek revenge. Now we get to Big Bone, and she's looking at the picture of Montavious' ring. Remember, Diamond already told her not to touch it. He told her not to touch it, but I'm thinking he's sleeping. She took a picture while she had the ring in her hand, and she probably summoned some type of energy, some type of spirit, and found out what's really going on. We see the Sin logo at the bottom. I'm thinking she sent it to somebody, and Diamond is probably going to be in trouble. The fan prediction, the fan theory about her being connected to Montavious most likely is true. At the end of the day, she up to something, and Diamond ain't safe, and hell, Keyshawn, she's probably not going to be safe as well. Man, I cannot wait to see the conclusion of this whole storyline. And speaking of Keyshawn, we can tell she doesn't really want to go. She ain't trying to leave for real. She wants to stay there. She believes that this is home. And like I said, deep down inside, you can tell she doesn't want to leave. Now, she does have a conversation with Uncle Cliff. Uncle Cliff tells her, like, look, yeah, they had issues, but you ain't just about to leave like that. We know she wrote on that mirror, I'll be your sister for life. Uncle Cliff says, you're not just going to leave like that. They had a conversation. Uncle Cliff tells her, like, look, life is short, but it's unpredictable at the same time, and second chances are very rare. So, you know what I'm saying? You might as well go and fly away and don't ever come back here. I don't never want to see your face here again. So will Keyshawn actually be able to get away, take advantage of her second chance, and be able to make it through? Hopefully that is the case, right? Now the episode ends out with Uncle Cliff looking at that mirror, looking very sad. And like I said, we got to wait to see what happened to Grandma Ernestine based on all these clues we've been getting. It ain't looking too good. But is our predictions wrong? Is it unpredictable? Did she actually make it? I'm gonna tell you right now, based off the episode 10 trailer with Uncle Cliff crying, it doesn't look well. I hope Grandma can pull through. I hope all the foreshadows can be false. But based off this season and the things that we've been seeing as far as these foreshadows, most of them were right. You know what I'm saying? As far as the foreshadow and what that foreshadow presented, we got the exact same thing when it was all said and done. This time around, we're going to see what's going to happen with Grandma Ernestine and Uncle Cliff. But the episode ended out with the whole to be continued. We will see what's going to happen next in the season finale, and I cannot wait to see it. Your boy Derek got him a job. I know Keyshawn did mention that in this episode. I told y'all this in my quick thoughts, early impressions. I hope he get fired on his day off. I hope that dude just fell in life. But we gonna see. I just hope your girl Keyshawn can make it out without, being killed off. But we will find out all the answers to next week's episode. I will be dropping that what to expect for episode 10 tomorrow. So I want you guys to stay tuned for that. I want to thank you guys for all the love, all the support, and I will catch y'all on the next one. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.